What's up, Bullets? Oh, I can... I mean, I'm assuming I can't choose the main stat, but... I don't think I'm gonna pull Phoebe anymore. How are my Carlotta echoes looking? How's the Carlotta looking right now?
Would you like a fun game? Sometimes I get a little... I'll do my best.
Carlotta. Who'd I put it on?
Gotcha, didn't I?
Double crit. Double crit attack resonant skill. Holy fuck, this is nice. And... Ooh, that's a little cooked. Yeah, that's a little cooked. Okay. This gravity stuff confuses me so much. Got 8 hours to finish everything. I feel you, man. 21 hours left on the banner. 10 standard pulls. Can I finally get a Verena? Will it finally happen? Give me a Verena, and I will forgive Kuro for this anniversary, because my opinion matters a lot to them. Oh. No Verena? No Verena? Wow. Time to make another 5 Doom posting videos on Wuwa. It says 15 hours left for me. Probably a different server. I'm on NA. I think like it's the same in HSR and on Asia servers. You get the banners earlier. Hello Gab, after the V4 Cipher buff, should I go for E1 or S1? Outside of an Acheron team, 100% the E1. I think that's like a given. I think outside of any Acheron team where like the stacks don't matter, it's E1 and then S1 is right after. The only thing about the S1 is that it isn't really all that strong, but the bonus speed it gives you is really fucking nice. Like it allows you to run DPS Cipher with 180 or 190 speed with max crit rate and good attack and crit damage stats. Hello, Soupy, and goodbye. Thank you for stopping by quickly. What if I just give Cypher Acheron's Lycone and run her with Fei Xiao? I'm pretty sure that's fine. I think Acheron's Lycone, like damage wise, is actually better than Cypher's own Lycone. It's just that you obviously like lose the speed and you lose the defense reduction on enemies. Like so long as you have okay, so according to HOS himself, Cypher's E1 is on the same level of value as like a Robin E1 in terms of like overall team damage output increase. Because you do 50% more damage on the recorded damage, and Cypher gets a 200% attack buff. So her damage is like kind of disgusting. Oh, really, bullets? Let me finish this real quick. Oh wait, actually no, I don't want to do this again. I'll do this one off stream. I want to farm Carlotta Echoes. First, let me take advantage of this bountiful crescendo. I believe I want to do Shorekeeper. What does Shorekeeper use?
Understood. I am here to serve your will.
Oh, so I got the right shit for Shorekeeper. Nice. Does anyone know the priority for leveling Shorekeepers like things?
Understood. I am here to serve your will. Understood. I am here to serve your will.
Intro ult skill. Alright, thank you. What if Hoyo nerfs Cipher V5? Apparently there isn't gonna be a V5. Because there's a CN holiday.
At your disposal. In war with time. Get it? Perish. Diminish.
Stay behind, like frigid death.
Reborn from ancient roots. Struggle harder. Entertain me. Entwine.
I thought V5 was just push forward. According to people on like Reddit and all that stuff, apparently there just won't be any like V5 or changes for it. So maybe V6 or V7 if there is one. I'm not sure. We'll have to see. But that's just what I've seen. If she doesn't get nerfed though, like I just have to skip a Noxa, man. I was already trying to justify pulling a Noxa over Cipher when Cipher would give my Sunday account so much more fucking value. But with this V4, it's just like, nah. Like, I have the possibility of possibly getting like an E1S1 or E2S1 Cipher on the account. I'm going for E0S1 Cipher on my main account, but on my MyDay account, I'll probably go for more than that. My MyDay account currently has like 50 plus polls saved, with like 20 pity in each banner. And I have a guarantee on the Lycone. For Noxa, no. You need his E2 for that. It's locked behind his E2. The implanting weakness gimmick only matters for him running Quantum Set and APOC, and that's basically it.
At your disposal. Stay calm.
Yeah, I don't know if you guys have seen that person in my, like, comments on my Cipher videos. Like, I love Cipher, but, like, that man consistently has been trying to doom post Cipher because he wants her to be the most broken character in the game.
Stay behind, like frigid death.
Like, he's like, oh, Cipher is still mid at best. She needs skill point regeneration. She needs her E1 in her base kit. And she needs, something fucking else. And I didn't even respond to the comment, bro. Like, I'm a Cipher Glazer, but god damn, man.
Frozen blockade.
Reborn from ancient roots. Don't run. Keep the dance going.
Hello, Ahmed. How's your echo farming experience? Trash. Fucking trash. I want you guys to fully be aware. I had 90 of these a few days ago. I dropped 75 of them on one echo domain, and I still don't have even close to a full set for Carlotta. And anyone who saw my community post yesterday, I'm not trying to shit on Wuwa. I had just as bad luck in HSR yesterday. I generated 200 Pioneer chess pieces because my Acheron is currently on a single roll crit chess piece, and I didn't get one upgrade. Not one. Will you do a second stream tonight? Probably not, no. What's up, Max? Nothing much, nothing much. Just grinding Wuwa, grinding Wuwa. Changing my polling plans on HSR like no tomorrow. Nothing new. The thing about Cipher's Lycone is any supportive Nihility can take advantage of it. Like, if those Silverwolf buffs are true, Cipher's Lycone would be a best in slot by like a fucking mile for Silverwolf.
In war with time. Stay calm, yes? Loading.
Stay behind. Shackles be gone. A change of
Reborn from ancient roots.
Is E1 Cipher now better than E1 Triby? Depends on the comp. It's close though. Triby E1 is the best game right now, and it'll probably stay that way for a while. No. Triby's E1 is strong currently because of all the AoE there is. If you use Triby in a non-AoE situation, her ult gen is like half as fucking slow. And her E1 in like blast or lower scenarios is still good, but Cipher, because she herself is blast or single target on ult, actually does significantly more damage than Triby. Triby is better in AoE scenarios with AoE DPSs. Cipher is better in probably any other scenario. I mean, the Triby has one advantage, which is DDD, though. Like, that is the one advantage Triby has. But that's like it. Yeah, like, Cipher basically is E1 Triby by herself. I'd say with Lycone, they're already competitive, but with E1, I think Cipher would probably be better value for most people. Also, Cipher has the better Eidolon investment after E1, because if you get E2, you get 30% more vulnerability.
At your disposal.
So you're getting 70% vulnerability, 24% defense shred, 18% speed boost, and like probably millions of damage a cycle that Triby just can't compete with. And they're both on the same level of buffing capability.
I'm fighting war with time.
But once again, Triby has the advantage of DDD, of course.
Stay behind me. Frozen blockade. Not worth mentioning.
Bloom from passion, struggle harder. Entertain me. Grafting, suffer.
Get that Shorekeeper leveled up. Never mind, I forgot I don't have enough flowers. Move her Lycone or E1 to base kit. I need Hyacinth to get something. Okay, this is just my opinion. I think most people agree with this though. Can we like nerf Hyacinth's damage and increase her healing? Because like, yeah, the AoE healing is cool and all. You know, what's it called? Like, yeah, casters can take advantage of it, but what about my day? You know what I'm saying? Like, my day is getting royally fucked over by the fact that all Hyacinth does is give damage and not that much healing. Because a Gallagher or Luocha out heals Hyacinth for a my day. Like, like, can we be serious, man? Oh wait, I'm not even supposed to fight this guy.
Wind against my vines.
I think it's a better direction to not have much healing. I don't agree. I mean, if you want her to be like absolutely fucking broken, then yeah. But if you just want her to actually fit into the HP scaling team like she's supposed to, then more healing would be better.
What are you yearning for?
Yeah, that would be better as well, Alum. Like, make her healing... Like, here's the thing, right? If they were to make her healing single target, or like for the most part single target, it wouldn't make any difference in the synergy with Castris. Because Castris benefits from overheal still. Like, there's literally no difference. So it's like... And I'm pretty sure Castris has a cap on how much healing she can even receive in a single heal anyways. Like, they are just purposely making my day not synergize with Hyacinth all that well. Which is so fucking scummy. Like, just make that small change. Oh yeah, I already saw it, Valiant. I saw HOS's 3 cost Cipher 0 cycle on Flame Reaver. Apparently, RMC's true damage amplifies Cipher's recorded true damage on ult. Which I'm not sure if that's on purpose or not, but if it is, true damage buffing synergy is very high with Cipher.
What are you yearning for?
Ewan Robin is still good. Oh, I see bullets.
Understood. My crystal seems to glow brighter. I sense your warmth.
Now, okay, so hear me out, right? Here's the reason why, at least if she doesn't get nerfed too much, I'm skipping Anoxa for Cipher. My Day account has an E1 Robin that isn't really being used by anyone. So, just imagine, right? Fei Xiao or Archer, depending on whoever ends up being the follow-up DPS, with an E1 S1 Cipher and an E1 Robin. Can you blame me for skipping Anoxa? Can you really blame me? Like, have you guys seen the Fei Xiao synergy? Oh my fucking god.
Understood. I am here to serve your will.
No healing bonus, I see. You have multiple accounts for a reason. I don't disagree, but Cipher is just too good. Like, this is just unprecedented levels of OP is what current Cipher is. Like, I don't care what people say. I've seen a lot of people still saying, you know, she needs buff. She isn't that crazy. She's finally, you know, 3.x level. She was already a, you know, 3.x worthy character in the last version for her best in slot teams. Now, she is just godly. Like, unlike a Noxa, who people try to say is a sub DPS, she actually is a sub DPS. No matter what comp you put her in, you're getting 40% vulnerability, and with light cone, like 24% death shred. And she's on insanely high amounts of speed.
Would you like a fun game between
Like, I do think they will get nerf her. However, I'll have to see like how bad it is when it like comes out.
your will?
You think Anoxa is needed for the Herda team? Probably in the future, yeah. Oh, I need to do Jouet for this thing. Pure Fiction reset? I think it might have just happened on my Asia account. I'll check it after.
Loading. In war with time. Diminish.
Stay behind. Like frigid death. A change of
Reborn from ancient roots. Feed my blossoms, self-deceivers. Mentality sour.
Yeah, like, okay, hear me out, right? Here's the thing. I know Adoxa got nerfed a bit at the end. The reason I have so much confidence in Cipher is because she's a woman. That might sound cheesy, but I'm going to be honest. Even the V4 Anoxa that people love to glaze for being the most broken DPS had nowhere near the same level of value Cipher has right now. Like, Cipher right now isn't even like V4 Anoxa level. This is like this is in its own tier of broken. So I don't even think, like, if they already went this far, are they willing to then, go back? You know what I'm saying?
Understood. I am here to serve your will.
Shorekeeper's energy regen increases by 10%. Oh, nice. And there's just like a random rover passive. Oh yeah, Noxa in ST fights is really good, but the problem is, like, he spends 80 to 90% of the fight having his damage distributed between 3 to 4 mobs, and it takes until like the very, very end to get him into ST. This is why, like, Sustainless with Anoxa is so fucking broken. Just getting that one extra action advance or 2 extra action advances in a cycle allows him to get possibly 4 more skills off on a single target mob. And like, even outside of the buffs you obviously receive from Sustainless. That's why Sustainless Anoxa always looks so crazy in every single video. There are a lot of people complaining about Cipher. Let them complain, bro. Fuck. Next thing you know, everybody expected a nerf for V4, and she got buffed. So for V5, maybe they buff her action advance again at the beginning of a wave, when everybody thought she was going to be nerfed. I fully recognize this as power creep, by the way. Like, I fully recognize it, even though I love Cipher, and I plan to pull for her. Like, I fully recognize the power creep.
Well, please don't disappoint me.
Yeah, Zhao Q just kind of gets completely shit on at this point. Like, no offense. Even if you're an Acheron main, and even if you can't take full advantage of specifically an E0 S0 Cipher, it's close. And the difference in light cone and Eidolon investment and character value that Cipher gives you is astronomical compared to Zhao Q.
The lovely smell of all my let's have fun and try. It's getting fun.
Like, I don't see enough people talk about it, but the E1 from Cipher and E2 are both good. Like, they are both really good.
Rafting supper. A little treat.
Yeah, the E0 0 cope, they might be close. Like, one character just has way more value, though. Maybe, Valiant. It's possible. Knowing Hoyo. E4's Xiaoqiu shits on Cipher change my mind. I mean, doesn't base E0 Cipher have weaken on enemies and they do less damage towards you? So Cipher has Xiaoqiu's E4 and base kit. So yeah, take that, buddy. Easy, yep. Can we talk about how Shorekeeper and Verena feel shit against the new 2.2 boss after you play with Canarella and probably Brant? Who's the new 2.2 boss? Is it the one I was just fighting? To be fair, I don't have Canarella or Brant, so I don't know what it's truly like. Oh, the water woman. Oh, I see. Personal dilemma is if E1 might as well E2, and if E2 might as well E2 a future main DPS. No. No. Once again, Cipher with Eidolon investment is a direct competitor to Triby with Eidolon investment. And at E2, she actually is better than Triby. Like, no one would ever choose DPS Eidolons over a Triby E1. The same goes for Cipher's Eidolons. Where are my Cartethia leaks? I mean, we got a small leak that she's not going to be as teammate reliant as Zanny is with Phoebe. I'm never Eidolon investing anyway. I mean, that's understandable. But, like, for example, after a character has had enough reruns and shit, like, most people who own them have Eidolons. Like, okay, so apparently the statistic for Acheron owners, over 40% of Acheron owners have her at E2 or higher. So almost half of Acheron havers have her at E2 or higher. So this whole Xiaoqiu and Cipher fiasco actually matters for a lot of people when they only want one Nihility in a slot. Oh yeah, Chad. Yeah. Like, you want to know the funny thing? On my video where I said I'm worried, if anyone watched it, my Wuwa video where I go over the calcs, there are official calcs, a viewer linked me to them, and Zanny loses. So the most optimally tuned Phoebe, Zanny, S Rover team versus the most optimally tuned non-Phoebe team, it's around like a 35% damage loss. And if you use weapon, it can be up to like 40% or more. Apparently, the Spectro Rover rotation takes significantly longer, which isn't even being accounted for in that. It takes a while to build up Spectro Rover's forte or whatever. So not only do you do overall less damage percent, but the rotation takes longer in of itself. People are defending Wuwa? Oh, fuck yeah. Now, most people agreed with me on that video. So, like, there's no need for me to, like, you know, go into the comments and, like, you know, try to, you know, make people see the light. But there was one person in specific who said, hey, this is normal. How do you expect this game to make money? Man, free-to-play players are so greedy. What more else do you want? Like, he's like, you should have just pulled Phoebe on her initial rerun, and then you wouldn't have an issue with this. Holy Kurobot, bro, it's so fucking bad. Oh my god. It's basically the equivalent of defending Acheron. Now, Acheron on initial release wasn't this bad, but let's say like on Acheron rerun when Zhao Q was already out and you didn't get Zhao Q, like pulling for an Acheron by herself would have been a very shitty pull. And everyone in the community would have told you, hey, don't fucking do this. This is an absolutely terrible pull if you don't plan to get Zhao Q right after. Like, Zanny's the exact same. According to, like, leakers and shit, Zanny without Phoebe is, like, on the low tier of limited 5 stars performance. But with Phoebe is, like, the strongest. That's basically how it works. It's Acheron with Zhao Q all over again, basically. You go from good, but nothing crazy, to the strongest in the game with your best in slot support. Hello, Turtles. You will not believe this. What is it, Turtles? I did that 10 pull on standard. Don't say you got Marina. What'd you get? Does Phoebe need Zanny? Phoebe doesn't need Zanny at all. I got the 1600 Jades already on my accounts. Gotcha. Smack was so angry about HSR Annie, but was completely civil when Wuwa Annie dropped. Because he likes Wuwa and doesn't like HSR. Like, this is what I've been saying for the longest. People in my chat have been saying it as well. They just didn't enjoy the game. So it's easier to hate on the game you just don't play anymore and don't care for anymore. Like, it's really just that simple. They main Wuwa, or at least a lot of them main Wuwa. So they feel like they have to justify them playing the game, and they have to be a little more defensive on it. Like, it's a never-ending cycle. It doesn't matter. At the end of the day, Gotcha Smack is a grown man. He just enjoys one game more than the other. It's fine. But there is for sure some hypocrisy. Can't really control that, though. At the end of the day, people are just human, I guess. And what does Zanny exist for? To be the strongest in the game with Phoebe. That's basically it. Now, if you're asking, here's something you should ask yourself, right? If you have a Phoebe, and you're a Phoebe main, thinking of getting Zanny to make your Phoebe overall in a stronger team, right? Why not just get S1 or S2 Phoebe? Like, okay, so the advantage Zanny has in her best in slot team over Phoebe is probably, what's it called? Whimpering Wastes. In Whimpering Wastes, there is probably an advantage that Zanny for sure has. But if we don't use Whimpering Wastes, let me see the calcs for, where is she? Spectro, Phoebe. So Phoebe at S2 is around 31% stronger than at S0. And S3 is the big damage jump, with 63% stronger than at S0. But it's like, it's just better, in my opinion, to just invest more into your Phoebe, or you can also Go for Shakona or whatever her name is. I forgot how to pronounce it all over again. And your Phoebe will benefit a lot more. Yeah, the scummiest thing about all this and the 10 rerun banners isn't actually the rerun banners themselves. It's the fact that it's 10 rerun banners and they rushed the patch before this anniversary with 10 rerun banners. And Shorekeeper was the Shorekeeper was the character right before the anniversary's 10 banners, who's basically the only, type of must pull character in the entirety of this game. And you don't get 10 limited pulls until after the first phase is gone, which has Phoebe and Zanny. Like, that's the bad part. That's where it's like, if you were pulling for Phoebe or Zanny and didn't have Shorekeeper, good luck. Right? Good fucking luck.
Wind against my vines.
Now, once again, I said it in my video about Phoebe and Zanny. This shit doesn't really affect me because I don't really care for Zanny all too much. I'll probably just end up getting Cartethia. But I feel for the people out there.
A little treat.
HSR with 3 reruns got massacred. Bro, it's just bias at the end of the day. It's just bias. I'm not going to pretend I don't have my own bias against games and, certain shit at times. But, like, people think I'm, like, parading as pretending that I like to play Wuwa so that I can make content on it. But it's like, no. Like, these two are genuinely my favorite gacha games. And even when I quit Wuwa, I had always glazed this game as my favorite gacha game of all time. The only reason I continued playing HSR over it was because of the convenience. I was busy in real life. I had shit to do. But people think I'm like trying to hate on Wuwa on purpose or some shit and spread an agenda. Let's see. I think I need to go through in this side, maybe. So how does this work?
The lovely smell of all my prey.
Is it like this way? Yup. Haven't been here before. Are you finished uni? No. I'm lucky as hell I pulled Phoebe because she's cute and I get to profit. Now, yeah, I also really wanted to pull Phoebe, but the problem is Carlotta is like a higher priority for me than Phoebe is. And I really want Cartethia. So originally I was like, what if I just get Phoebe and then I get Carlotta on the second phase? But then I probably wouldn't be able to get Chacona realistically, like at all. And I think Chacona will probably be the best in slot for Cartethia, with probably Arrow Rover. So I think that's like the better thing to do. Is your Wuwa free to play? Fuck no. Fuck being free to play in these gacha games, man. I usually buy monthly pass. Very occasionally I'll buy battle pass, but usually just monthly pass. I couldn't stand to be free to play in these games. They were giving away Dante for free in in PGR. On top of that, you can get 2 extra dupes by pulling for the collab character from PGR, if I remember correctly. Yeah, PGR is getting all the love, man. PGR is getting all the love.
Well, please don't disappoint me.
Reminds me of Genshin. New patch has a whopping 58 pulls. Yeah. When is Zanny releasing? Today or tomorrow? Probably tomorrow. Have you seen Ethereal Restart? They have no weapon banners and no 50-50. You will love this game. It depends. I did see it, but the gameplay doesn't look all that crazy is the issue. Like, it's cool if something has really good gacha rates and is for the player. But if I don't actually enjoy the gameplay itself, like, I probably won't play it. Isn't PGR known for having aggressive power creep? I don't know. But here's the thing. The rewards are so much better, I don't think it matters. Like, power creep is for sure a bad thing. But, like, in PGR, as far as I've heard, the rewards, the banner rates, guarantees, anniversary rewards, this collab, like, at some point, there's just so much good content and characters that you can get so fucking easily that it kind of overpowers the power creep. And it's like, I'm getting so much shit that I can basically always have fun playing this game. Like, for example, if HSR had the same banner rates and same average pulls per patch as Wuwa, I think that game would be a million times more enjoyable to most people. Because the real problem with power creep is when the rewards aren't enough to keep up with it, in my opinion. Like, that's the real issue behind it. Obviously, it's like something normal in these gacha games and it really shouldn't exist in the first place. But if the rewards were able to keep up with the power creep, many people would be happy playing HSR and they wouldn't quit it.
Wind against my vines.
Yeah, like, I'm going to be honest. I don't know why people put so much faith in this game and being like the proving Hoyo wrong game and, you know, changing gachas forever. The crazy thing is, one of my most disliked videos in the history of my channel is a Wuwa video I made a long time ago. Like, I think nearly a year ago at this point. Where I said that what Wuwa was doing wasn't actually generous. And it's just normal. Like, this is what players should normally expect. And keep in mind, this was their first few patches, which were giving us, like, the Selector, the free Zhang Liao, higher pulls per patch than currently. Like, that's when Wuwa was in its prime in terms of rewards. And people were like, oh no, this game is, you know, setting a standard, changing gachas forever. This game isn't like Hoyo. The devs aren't greedy. Solon said that so long as he has enough money to keep the game up, it's completely, you know, fine. He just cares about the players more than the game. And it's like, and now look, we got Zanny's weapon being a fucking insane damage increase. That is probably the most disgusting signature weapon in the entirety of the game. They did this shit with the Annie, with the banner placements of Phoebe and Zanny. They made Zanny lose 30 to 35% damage without a Phoebe. And now we have Chacona, who gives arrow erosion, right? Now, if what the leakers are currently saying is true, Cartethia won't be too reliant on Chacona. However, Chacona should be a best in slot by likely a decent margin, right? But it shouldn't be too bad for Cartethia, apparently. Oh yeah, I forgot Brant and his weapon. I looked at some calcs and apparently Brant's signature is like 20% plus better than the standard version, which I actually think Carlotta's is the same, but still. I still think Zanny's is more broken though. Because Zanny's weapon, I think 50% spectral frazzle damage bonus, plus 8% defense shred, plus 12% attack, with I think like a crit damage or crit rate main stat. Like, I do think Zanny's signature could be better. I'm not sure though. Yeah, that's how I also think about it. I think Zeshi Carlotta will probably be Chacona and Cartethia, which is nice. This means Cartethia will be fully, you know, like fine without Chacona. Because like if you look at Carlotta, even without Zeshi, she still slams most content. Like it's like a 10 to 15% overall damage loss without Zeshi, which in my opinion that isn't that bad. Like I don't think 10 to 15% is that bad. I had to make a video on Zanny and Phoebe because 30% plus is insane. Like, that is just an insane drop-off. Yeah, but the thing is, Mango, every single game was like this. Like, no offense to Wuwa, I don't think it'll have the same level of power creep as HSR, but people used to use the exact same argument in the first year of HSR and the first year of Genshin. Oh, you don't need to pull these premium units. There isn't that much power creep. Because keep in mind, at the first year of HSR, the HP inflation was incredibly slow. It barely went up, right? So you could still clear with very low cost, not that much investment. You didn't need premium teammates or premium characters at all. Like, every single Hoyo gacha game has gone through this exact same cope within the first year. That it's generous, you don't need to pull limited supports or limited DPSs or best in slot teams to clear endgame. It's not like HSR because there is much more skill expression in this game. Okay, I used to have the same thought process but I don't anymore. HSR 100% has skill expression. When you have people with 8 cost teams wondering why they can't clear, and then you have someone clearing with like 2 or 3 cost with like an old ass character and still making them 0 cycle. Like, HSR does have some skill expression, I'm not gonna lie. It's not crazy like Wuwa's, but Wuwa is more mechanically difficult. HSR requires a lot more knowledge, though. And, like, pre-planning and shit. It's not as much skill as it is Relic RNG. The thing is, person, I used to think the same way. But, like, you give 99% of people those exact same relics, they just aren't going to be able to get anywhere near the same, like, cycle clearage, like, at all. They're not going to know about Seal's Resurgence and how to optimize it right, and it's going to lead to them taking so much fucking longer. They're just going to spam ult. Like, the average player in this game just spams anything the moment it, like, you know, they can click it. You just need to read to play HSR. You guys are downplaying it a little too much, I'm going to be honest. You guys are downplaying it a little too much. Like, if it was really this easy, there wouldn't be so many people. I see more people struggle in clearing endgame content for HSR with, like, lower cost teams than I ever do seeing, like, Wuwa players learn rotations. Like, it takes Wuwa players probably, like, half an hour at max to learn a full rotation for their team that's going to carry them for months. While in, like, HSR, like, it takes a long fucking time to get used to, like, all the different characters kits, seeing what synergizes together. Like, for example, HOS making that DPS 3 cost showcase, finding out that RMC could give true damage and amplify the ult for Cipher. Like, I don't know, man. Like, I think the only people who can maybe talk about, you know, this game being, like, that much more difficult than HSR are the, like, insane Don Jin mains. I saw a Don Jin main solo the level 100 hologram using, like, a guitar and a floor pad. Like, yeah, you got it, bro. I don't know who you're competing with. I don't know what you're preparing for. But, like, you got it. You know what I'm saying? Just pull new units and autoplay max stars. This game is the exact same. Like, am I tripping and saying that? If you pull Zanny in her full best in slot team, you're fucking shitting on Whimpering Waste and TOA without a sweat. Like, no offense, but, like, the same logic kind of applies here. Yeah, like, Genshin has elemental reactions, which makes even old characters just really strong in certain situations. Like, I've heard Mona still has very good use cases these days because she just maybe she's good for Hydro Bloom or Hyper Bloom, whatever it's called.
Don't run. Keep
I'm just assuming because she's Hydro.
crafting. Suffer. What are you yearning for?
Oh, she's good for one-shot comps? I see. I don't even know who Mona is. She's a standard character in Genshin. No, I agree, Mango. I agree. I agree. Like I said it earlier, I still think this game is more like skill, difficult and challenging than HSR. I just think it's like closer than people give HSR credit for. Because I barely see anyone doing what HOS does, like at all. Like I genuinely think most people can't do what HOS does, even if they had the relic quality. Like HOS was the one who discovered the Castrus Ling Shaw tech. Now, the Cipher tech with March 7th preservation and pure fiction with Acheron to make it better than Zhao Q. Now you have DPS Cipher 3 cause 0 cycle. Like, that is a skill though, person. Like, once again, there is a reason why most people can't do this even while having the same relic quality. Like, the same goes for Wuwa. Like, if you see someone above all the rest in Wuwa, you guys will call him, like, God tier. Like, he knows what he's doing, But the person in HSR likely put in way more time learning characters, kits, mechanics, synergies with other teams than the Wuwa person did.
Wind against my vines.
Like, I'm going to be honest. I don't think this game is hard. I just don't. This game does not have an end game that is hard. That's just my opinion. You can force yourself to make it harder, just like HSR creators will do, and do like low cost 0 cycles with like old DPSs or something. Make it as hard as possible on yourself. But this game is just not that skill dependent. Maybe that's just me though, because I have been playing games my entire life. So like copying a rotation from someone else on YouTube would probably take me like less than 10 minutes to master, but like I'd have to listen to like a whole 2-hour presentation on some seal fucking team synergies that make her do all this shit, and I probably still wouldn't understand it. If you pull new units in HSR, all the endgame modes are a joke. Same for Genshin. Same for Wuwa. What? Like, it's the same thing for Wuwa, man. You pull a newest unit on their best in slot team, they're gonna fucking slam the endgame. Almost every time. Pull a Zanny best in slot team and see how difficult the end game is. If it even is difficult. It's the same for all of them? Yeah, I agree. Like, what's the argument here? I'm confused. Go do the tower boss challenges. Those are hard in my opinion. What, TOA? Bro, I'm on a UL 48 account. I mean, I probably could actually. Because this Camellia hits for a fucking lot at this low UL level. Because I have her fully built. But I don't have a second DPS and my Dawn Jin is like completely unbuilt. You have S2 Shorekeeper, which is around a 17% overall damage increase. That's not going to suddenly make me full clear everything. People can clear it with solo Donjin characters, you will be fine. Those people who clear with solo Donjin have been playing solo Donjin for weeks or months. I just took like a 4 to 5 month break off this game, came back, and all I've been doing is exploration. Like, this is the equivalent of getting someone who's never played HSR, putting them to play an HSR team in the endgame, see how they do. They're gonna get fucking they're gonna have zero fucking clue what to do. So it's not easy then, right? You can't... I am in such disbelief. I can't even get another word out of my mouth right now. No, not you person. I mean the other person who's like being fully serious. Like he's trying to be fully serious. Like you realize the same applies to HSR and Genshin, right? If you put someone with an entirely new team at, albeit, an incredibly low level with under-level DPSs and supports, and they don't know how to do the new rotations, they are going to get fucking cooked in the endgame. It's not any different, man. What is this argument? Day 4 of asking for Genshin gameplay? Fuck no. I'll never go back to Genshin. The holograms are hard. I never said they weren't. Your logic is, if I can't full clear TOA with a level 70 Camellia being my only limited DPS, and because I have S2 Shorekeeper, that means I should be able to do it. And other people who have been playing with Donjin for months on end can clear TOA solo. So if I can't, that means my point is proven wrong. And this game is 100 times more difficult than HSR or Genshin. A complete noob who doesn't even remember how to do rotations correctly with under-leveled characters. The hard part in HSR is just leveling up the characters and traces.
Wind against my vines.
Do you play HSR Tactician? I just want to ask this one last question. Do you play HSR like right now at all? Yes, sir. Who'd you clear endgame with then? The only reason I can't do shit is because my only characters are the Herda and E1 Triby. That's enough. That's enough. So, if I were to use the logic you were using against me on my new account that also doesn't have a second DPS but has an S2 Shorekeeper, you have E1 Triby and Herda. We are in the exact same situation. Both of us can't clear the endgame yet. Now, considering you have the Herda and E1 Triby, you probably could clear endgame, but I'm assuming you're a more recent player, so you just don't have the relic quality yet. Because E1 Triby, with even like a 4-star DPS, and then your Herda on another side, even if she gets like a 5 cycle, it doesn't really matter, you're probably clearing. Like that is enough to clear endgame. Well, okay, tactician, but we're in the same boat. Like this is what makes no sense to me. You were trying to say that I should be able to full clear TOA because I have an S2 SK and 1 limited DPS. Yet you're in the exact same situation with a low level account that has E1 Triby and Herda. Same situation, 2 different games. You can't clear endgame either. So like what is the point being made here? Limited sustains don't matter that much in HSR. I was able to sustain through Flame Reaver with a Bailu. And I could use Gallagher on the second side. Plus Luocha is free right now. So you could also just get like Ruan May or Luocha with the token. Have a limited sustain or another premium support. Bailu has global passive. Will you be visiting ZZZ 2.0? No, I don't think so. I did want to, but I don't think I have it in me to play 3 gacha games at once. I genuinely just don't think I can. Like, healthily. Like, I'd be pushing myself too much. It's already hard enough looking at leaks for 1 game. Now I'm looking at leaks for 2. I'm making updates. I'm learning both games. I don't want to play 3 games, man. It's too much for me, to be honest. I have nothing against ZZZ, though. I hope their Annie goes well. Because I think the ZZZ Annie is coming up. Doesn't matter how good characters' echoes are and stuff. If you can't dodge, you're getting bodied. I mean, I don't disagree. But once again, at least personally, in my personal experience, learning how to play HSR characters and teams optimally while also understanding all of HSR's mechanics, buffs, kits, team synergies has been always a million times more difficult for me than clearing in Wuwa. Like, before I quit this game, I didn't have a trouble with holograms or endgame. Like, endgame was a breeze. And holograms just weren't that difficult after I learned how to dodge and learn their patterns. Like, compared to HSR, I have struggled much more in that game.
What are you yearning for?
If I get some of the premium HSR DPSs just to, I can probably put the game in auto mode and clear the endgame content to get max stars. Not without their best in slot supports. If you put Herda on auto against Flame Reaver and you have mistimed ults and enhanced skills, and you don't have her best in slot supports like Triby and Anoxa, you probably aren't going to get a 5-cycle clear. It's probably going to take you longer, even with decent relics. I know this because I actually tried it myself on my Day account that has E0S1 Herda, E0S1 Avin, and I was using like RMC plus small Herda. I've tried putting it on auto, and the mistiming was making it take like 6 or 7 cycles because it kept using the enhanced skill at the wrong time. So no, pulling 2 of the new limited DPSs, if you don't get their best in slot supports and it's just the DPS themselves and you put them on auto, they probably aren't going to clear that quickly. Especially, like, let's say you use a My Day, but you have the speed tuning wrong. You're not running a -1 speed Sunday. My Day's only getting half the actions. He might actually take 5 cycles or more in that case scenario.
Time flies by. Anything? Remember to stop and look around as you explore. Maybe there are ancient relics on those faraway mountains. Who knows?
I mean, that's fine, Tactician. I'm not saying that, like, you have to use old DPSs to clear the endgame. You're a new account. Why the fuck would you ever, like, purposely, you know, get an older character when you can get a newer one with way better value? My point is, you are over-exaggerating how difficult Wuwa is while underappreciating the, you know, bit of skill level that there is in HSR. Like, you're making Wuwa out to be like Elden Ring or fucking, like, I don't know, some other Souls game. While HSR is like fucking Minecraft, Mario Party. Like, that level of difficulty. What the fuck, Kiwi? What type of dream is that? Now, if we're all being honest, there's actually a good chance this happens. So, of course, these are very early leaks. So, of course, take them with a grain of salt. But according to the leakers, Phanon is mid. Like, animations-wise, he's mid. And power level-wise, he's apparently just okay. So, if that ends up being true, Saber and Archer actually do have an opportunity to be stronger than Phanon. One, Archer is free, so his investment is really easy. All you really need is a light cone for E0S1. And then, according to leakers, unlike Phanon, who has like we're being told he's mid, the leakers told us Saber was an absolute monster against Hule. Like, apparently Saber could easily clear that 5 million health Hule. So that was before his HP got nerfed.
Wind against my vines.
And apparently Saber should be getting gacha animations. We don't know if the second one getting gacha animation will be Phanon or Archer. By goat Saber? Yeah. She might be really strong if what the leaker said isn't bait. Skincare routine, mud, and eating grass. Does E1 Triby have long-term value? If you're talking like future-proof, no. Long-term value, yes. Yes. E1 Triby is, at least currently, the most broken E1 in the entirety of the game. Like, it is just so fucking good. It's super universal. Like, the single target damage just goes up a lot, which helps even just blast scenarios. So E1 Triby currently has an amazing E1. That'll last you a long time. Oh, E1 Cipher. So, you can hang me for this, right? throw your pitchforks. Just like Kiwi said, you know, I made that video about Phanon, and people were chasing after me with guns. I think... Okay. E1 S1 Cipher is a stronger support than Triby. Now, Triby has the DDD. She gives a little action advance. But if we're just talking buffs and with the ridiculous amount of damage that an E1 Cipher does, Cipher is probably better than Triby now if you get her at E1 S1. Now, E1 is more iffy because at E1 you're only getting 40% vulnerability for buffing, while Triby at E1 has 30% vulnerability. She has the 24% res pen, I think, and she has the true damage on her E1. So I think depending on the comp, like if it's AoE, Triby is better. If it's single target or blast, Cipher is probably better. That's my opinion on it. But I think if you were to give Cipher that one extra cost with either S1 or E2, because E2 also gives 30% vulnerability more, I think she is just better than an E1 Triby or even an E2 Triby at the same cost. Because E2 Triby isn't that crazy. It mostly just increases Triby's damage by a little bit, and that's it. It's not that crazy. Cipher's further Eidolon and cost investment is just better than Triby's in a lot of harmonies. Like Robin has the same issue where her E2 is fine, but it's like not that crazy. You just get like a bit of a speed boost. E6 Triby or E6 Cipher? 100% E6 Cipher. Triby is better for AoE scenarios, but with these buffs, an E6 Cipher should probably be doing like 5 to 600k single target damage of follow-up or some shit. It's busted, man. And her E4, I think it's like she does an instance of quantum damage each time someone attacks an enemy marked with her like coin, the patron thing. It does like 50% of her attack or something, like every time an ally attacks. Even for the Herda? No, Triby will always be best in slot for the Herda. For the sole reason that Triby attacks so fucking much. Like there isn't really another support / harmony that attacks that much. So the energy regen is really fucking high. Like it's really high. Because she's also hitting multiple mobs at once. Plus, the Herda synergy with her hitting so many mobs on field constantly as well gives Triby energy. So like it goes back and forth with those two. But outside of a Herda team, Cipher is probably better in every other team in the game. Even like casters and stuff. I'm glad she's the most broken character at E6. I'm sure you are, Kiwi. Kiwi stayed strong even since the V0 and V1 nerfs. He was here staying strong, saying wait for the Cipher buffs. They'll change her. And I'm not gonna lie, I was doubting. I was a doubter. As sad as it is to say, but I am now here. I am now back. I wouldn't be that surprised if Cipher isn't that far behind for Triby and Herda. The thing is, okay, here's the... I think an E6 Cipher, in at least like blast or lower scenarios, is just stronger than a Herda. So like, putting an E6 Cipher with a Herda is kind of a blunder. Because you could just run hyper carry Cipher and probably have better performance. Like, with the attack buff on the E1, and that combined with every other Eidolon increasing her damage as well, It's just, I think she's stronger than Herda in blast or lower scenarios. While also giving 70% vulnerability. Which is... Like, if I had to guess, Hyper Carry Cipher's best in slot team is Cipher, Sustain, Hyacine, support, probably like Triby, and then you give her like Sunday or RMC for like the action advance and like all that stuff. Or you run double AA with like double action advancers, RMC plus Sunday with a Hyacine. That is probably her best in slot hyper carry team. Like, you guys need to understand, the E1 is so fucking broken. When I watched HOS's video, where he was like, you know, he did the 3-cost 0 cycle against Frame Reaver with E1 S1 Cipher. Cipher doesn't have anyone else on this team doing any fucking damage. Yet she was still able to stack up enough damage to the point where her ult could do over a milli almost like every single time she dished it out. That is without anyone on the team doing damage. Mods? Acheron is the sub DPS Kiwi. Yeah. 100% Cypher's current strongest team, though. I'd say this team, I think, is more worth it than Hypercarry Cipher. Is probably Fei Xiao. However, I do think she's made with Archer. I've said this a million times before. I do think Cipher is probably in preparation, like a sub DPS slash duo DPS with Archer, probably. But the Fei Xiao follow-up team I saw completely slam the Swarm bug with an E1 Cipher. Like, yeah, this is the first time I've seen Fei Xiao 0 cycle with a sustain in quite a while. 0 cycle with sustain with E1 Cipher. And I imagine Archer will probably be stronger than Fei Xiao is. So this is why I want to skip Anoxa, by the way. For anyone wondering, you know, stay strong for Anoxa, fuck no. I have an E1 Robin, and I have a Fei Xiao on my My Day account. But even if I can't use Fei Xiao, I have enough pulls to get E1 S1 Cipher. So E1 Robin, E1 S1 Cipher, plus an Archer sounds crazy. Pan Solus? What are you saying? Cipher will be T0 and Acheron tier 1? Oh my god. Is E0 good enough for Cipher or no? E0 Cipher is still best in slot for basically all follow-up teams. And she's competitive with Zhao Q. However, she doesn't beat Zhao Q at E0 for Acheron, I'm pretty sure. But it's her cost investment that makes her so strong. E0 is still a good pull. For sure better than like Topaz and shit. But nothing crazy. I mean, the thing is, she's probably going to get nerfed, guys. I would genuinely be surprised, very surprised, if she didn't get nerfed. But if she somehow does make it through to live with her current kit, she is the highest value character in the game. At least at like E1S1. Anything lower, the Harmonies do for sure have an argument. But if you even plan to like pull for her on like a rerun or whatever, it's just So good. Oh wait, no. Yeah, I was doing it right.
Well,
Better to invest in my Cipher or Fei Xiao Cipher. Yeah, apparently V5 is going to be early in like 2 or 3 days. So we don't have to wait, you know, there isn't really all that much suspense. It's coming pretty quick. Her V0 kit is her V5 kit. For anyone who doesn't know, Cypher's V0 kit was okay, so it was I think 50% overall damage record, and she did 480% true damage. Like there was a multiplier on it, and it increased the damage recorded damage by 400% or something. That's never making it. Oh yeah, Cypher's the second phase, which is the best part. Like my Day account currently has like 50 pulls with 20 pity in each banner, plus the added bonus of being guaranteed on the Lycomb banner. So E1S1 is basically like a guarantee, even if I do lose. But I kind of want E2. Okay? Here's the thing, guys. Here's the thing, right? Just hear me out. I kind of want E2. Gabby being greedy and stupid once again. Bro, 70% vulnerability, 24% defense shred, 150% damage record, 200% attack bonus. Guys, am I crazy? am I crazy for wanting that?
let me snap all my prey. Crafting Cipher.
Like, bro, that's too good to pass up on, man.
Well, please don't disappoint me.
Is My Day actually good, or does he need Hyacine? My Day's fine. He doesn't need Hyacine at all. She's probably his best in slot sustain, but like it's not necessary. It isn't like Zhao Q Acheron. I'll help if needed. W Kiwi. Fucking W. I don't think you will need to though. We'll see. Because I'm a light spender. A Noxus phase should give me like 40, probably 40 pulls. So I'll have around 100 pulls on the My Day account. Then Cipher's on the second phase. So I'll have 200 plus pulls, 20 pity in each banner with guaranteed light cone. It would take very fucking bad luck. I'm not going to lie. I'd probably have to lose two 50-50s. I mean, then again, I said the same shit for My Day with 300 pulls, and I got absolutely fucking blasted. Lost the Lycomb banner, lost the last 50-50, went fucking soft hard pity every single fucking time. So, you know, let's just say I'm not too hopeful, but I'll at least give it a shot. Getting her in another carrot easier S1 sounds. Yeah, but here's the thing, right? Here's the thing. So this is my plan for my Cipher on my Day account, because everybody knows the plan on my main account. She's just getting slapped onto the Acheron team. But for my Day account, I am so confident that she's going to be best in slot with Archer that because Archer is likely to be free, all I have to do is get his light cone and that's it. So I get an E0 S1 Archer with an E2 S1 Cipher. I feel like that team would be pretty gross. And even if Cipher doesn't have Archer synergy, I still have Fei Xiao. So I just wait till a Fei Xiao rerun, and then I get that E2 Fei Xiao. Peg to play. Make another cat girl to power creeper and I'm fine with it. This might be the last one for a while, Kiwi. I mean, maybe we'll get a fox girl at some point. Like Ting Yun or like Fugue. Is Archer actually free or is this a Wuwa situation? It might not be Archer specifically, but on the Annie live stream, the devs themselves confirmed that we were getting another new free limited 5-star in like a few patches. So this is a new limited 5-star, not an old one. So it's most likely the fake collab. Like most people are guessing it is the fake collab because nothing else would make sense. And all current leaks point towards it being Archer. Because Archer was originally planned to be a 4-star, then suddenly changed to 5-star, and then a few days after that change is when we got that, like, you know, we're going to give you guys a free limited 5-star drop in a few patches. So everything leads to it being Archer, who just got switched to a 5-star, basically. Constance? According to the leakers, Constance is going to be a best in slot break support for Firefly. Which means she probably has action advance. Oh, it was fake? Really? If it was fake, then yeah, but that was the last leak we had about Constance having a team. Was that she'd be a best in slot for Firefly, and that's why Firefly was getting like a rerun and skin and everything in 3.4. Was because they were hyping up Firefly for that. And then Constance releases in probably like 3.8 or something. Is it ever worth pulling a DPS on their rerun? I want to get my day on his rerun, no Triby, but I don't know. Depends on how fast they rerun. Like, for example, Fei Xiao got like a 3-patch rerun. So Fei Xiao still had really good value when she reran. But some DPSs in this game do take a while to get a rerun. Like, for example, Herda and Aglaya are also rumored for reruns at 3.3. Which, like, they're both really good still. The DPS rerun thing mostly applies to like V1 and V2 when we didn't have triple rerun banners. Because like for example, Acheron took I think 5 patches to rerun. She released in 2.1, reran in 2.6. By 2.6, it's like it's already a little too late. You know what I'm saying? Actually, let me kill this red guy. I don't think he's a high level if I remember correctly.
The lovely smell of all my prey. And try.
Fugue is on like the level of Ruan Mei for Firefly. In most showcases I've seen, if you're running either Ruan Mei or Fugue, but not both at the same time, you get similar performance with both of them with a Firefly team. But HMC, I mean, if you already have a Ruan Mei, I think it's just better to use Fugue because you get more breaks off. Also, Fugue frees up RMC, so like there is that like hidden value where she does free up RMC for like your second team. I mean, yeah, some people just run sustainless and slap HMC, Fugue, and Ruan Mei on the same team. But I think a lot of people are afraid of sustainless. Where's the gun?
What are you yearning for?
Do you think break has fallen off? Hell yeah. The main advantage break had was always that it took a while for them to break, but then in return they'd get like the highest damage per screenshot in the game, or like the most damage in the game. But like that doesn't apply anymore because the new characters are simply just stronger at base, even without needing break. So like the entire point and the advantages break had are gone, and now there's only the disadvantages, which is that you have to go through a toughness bar. They can still clear, but it's just not as like a good comp anymore. It feels like Dot all over again. It's not as bad as Dot, obviously, but
Well, please don't disappoint me.
also, I do appreciate that like break teams are pretty fucking easy to build. Like they are usually noticeably easier to build than like normal double crit DPSs. Like my most farm domain on my main account is Pioneer more than any other relic domain, and I've probably generated like close to 1,000 Pioneer pieces, and I still don't have a good crit body or boots for my Acheron. You think Aventurine is falling off? Nah. I think he's fine.
The lovely smell of
I do think by the time Dawn Hung Preservation comes around, if he's still Preservation though, Avon will probably feel shit by then. Like the Hoyo devs will purposely make enemies just do more damage or ignore shields to sell Dawn Hung. Like we already have enemies that ignore shields right now.
a little treat.
No, just use skill. I mean, that's a big part of his selling point, though. Like, how skill point positive he is. If you have to start... If it gets to the point where you have to start using skill constantly, he's gonna have the same problem that, like, Ho kind of does. Basic skill SP neutral. Yeah, but his SP positivity is what makes him so good. Like, especially for like follow-up comps or basically any comp, to be honest. You usually want your sustain to be SP positive. This is a big reason why sometimes people will just use Gallagher instead of like an SP hungry sustain, even though that sustain might be better, is just for skill point generation. Oh, I already did this. Acheron buffs in 2026? Oh yeah. I'm confident if Acheron falls off the meta, they'll buff her eventually. Like, of all limited characters to buff, like Firefly and Acheron are probably at the very like tippity top of the list right now, to be honest. They don't need it right now, at least not yet. But I'd say if like version 4, like if it gets really bad, or like version 5, if they somehow make it through version 4, they'll probably receive buffs. That's why I don't have much of an issue E2ing Acheron, even though I do kind of regret it now seeing how strong Cipher was. I wish I would have just, hyper invested in Cipher instead. But I don't have much of an issue with it because Acheron will just get buffed whenever she turns to shit. I mean, that's not how it works, Alum. If that were how it worked, then like Jing Liu and Jing Liu wouldn't receive buffs because you can just use the newest supports and clear with Jing Liu. Like, everybody's aware of that, but Jing Liu herself is just trash right now. I don't think you getting buffs is reliant on how strong a teammate is. In Acheron's case, they can buff her with new teammates for a long while. I think an Acheron buff that would probably make her stronger is make it like the Herda. Like the same way Herda only needs one other of the same path, do that for Acheron. And then obviously change all the other Eidolons because her Eidolons are pretty ass. But her E2 would now allow you to just run full Harmony instead of needing Annihility. I think that's like the future buffs, Eidolon and like normal kit wise, outside of just like obvious multiplier buffs and shit. You going for Zanny? Fuck no. Too expensive, man. And I don't like Zanny all that much. You think the addition of buffs make pulling for new DPS dumb? It depends. It depends on how frequently they do these old character buffs. Because, like, Jing Liu has been pretty ass for a while now, man. But if they do consistently keep these buffs up, and they keep going in, like, cycles, then I do think hyper investing in a DPS is completely fine now. Like, you'll obviously struggle to clear endgame more for probably like half a year to a year, but then your character will at some point get a buff and be a lot better, and it's gonna feel good again. Now, will they buff characters twice? I don't think so. Maybe that would be crazy, but basically characters have a lot longer lifespans if this is true. Like, they just keep buffing anyways. Yeah, I want Cartethia. Yeah, Cipher isn't even meant for Acheron, guys. I've been saying this for the longest time now. Like, there's a reason why Acheron's light cone also works for Cipher, constantly inflicting stacks. Like, I don't think they actually ever cared about Cipher and Acheron's performance. Like, at all. Like, all they cared about for Cipher was likely the follow-up team or just being a general sub DPS, like, at all. Like, that's where most of her focus was on, and not Acheron. The light cone just happened to make her stack generation way better with Acheron. Now, I'm not going to pretend the Hoyo devs weren't fully aware of how good she could be for Acheron, mainly because it's quite the coincidence that she received 2 nerfs, 2 versions in a row that made her look really bad, right? Really bad. And then right before Zhao Q's banner is already almost gone and people fell for the Zhao Q bait, she gets that massive fucking V3 glow up and then gets this V4 even further buffing her. So I don't think that's a coincidence. I'm pretty sure they played anyone who was looking at leaks. But, you know, hey. If you just waited, a little bit longer, you would have been able to tell. Zhao Q pulling peer pressure? No. Okay, so here's the funniest thing. I was on the Acheron mains Reddit, like right before I started stream, and people are saying, oh, I miss how calm and chill this place used to be. Now everybody's just using Cipher versus Zhao Q comparisons. They're saying Cipher is better than my Zhao Q. It's miserable here. As if they weren't doing the same shit to anyone who didn't own Zhao Q for Acheron. They're getting a taste of their own medicine with Cipher now, and they absolutely fucking hate it. God, it might. It's so funny, man. I went to the Zhao Q main subreddit as well, and I saw a post of someone complaining that they want Zhao Q to be a best in slot for My Day or Archer. And they're hoping that that's who... Or sorry, a Zhao Q. They're hoping Zhao Q is a best in slot for My Day or Archer or Phanon. Which is like, holy cope. Holy cope.
Against my vines.
Yeah, Bullets. Bro, me and you, Bullets, man. I've been saying this for a long ass time. I always said Zhao Q had just complete shit pull value. Because it's completely tied to 1 DPS. And DPSs in this game get power crept like no tomorrow. Anoxa main subreddit is a little mad about the Cipher buffs too. I mean, I wouldn't be mad. Like, I'd at least wait until the final version comes out, because I also think she has a decent chance of getting nerfed a little bit again, just like Anoxa did. But on Cipher is literally everything of what people tried to paint out Anoxa to be. They all tried saying, oh, Anoxa not doing that much damage is fine because he's a sub DPS when he only works as a sub DPS for Jade and Herta. But like, Cipher is actually a sub DPS who actually gives a shit ton of buffs, more than even compared to Anoxa in his own niche. And like, it's crazy, man. It's crazy. I love how my E1 S1 Zhao Q is now useless. I mean, if you want to run hyper carry Cipher by herself on the second team, then, you can still use Zhao Q with your Acheron and Cipher on the second team, but yeah, there's still that for you, Kiwi. You still have that. Wouldn't Cipher plus Anoxa be very strong together? I mean, yes, but it's not really better than an action advancer for Anoxa. Like, even before, when it was actually stronger, because she had defense shred, and Anoxa has a very high amount of defense shred, so the return on damage was higher than the current 40% vulnerability. Like, even back then, it wasn't a best in slot for Anoxa.
The lovely smell of all my prey.
Hyper carry, Palon, Cipher are strong. It doesn't matter. Yeah. Hyper carry, Cipher. I do think she'll probably get nerfed. Like, I'm not gonna lie. I think it's inevitable at this point. That hyper carry performance is a little too good. But I don't think her base kit would get nerfed. I think probably her E1 would just get nerfed. Like, I don't actually think Cipher's base kit is that crazy. The hyper carry Cipher thing only becomes true at like E1 S1. Because the S1 makes it so much easier to get her to higher speed thresholds. Plus the defense shred. And the E1 with that attack increase just completely changes everything, to be honest. Like, someone did calcs on it, and she basically gets an extra 2400 base attack, which is very, very high. Because you need to keep in mind, Cipher usually has low attack, because you're trying to run as much speed and crit on her as possible. Triby E1 made it through. Yeah, but this is a different level of E1, man. Okay, actually, I wouldn't say different. They're on like the same tier, kinda. But Cipher can take much better advantage of her E1 than Triby can take advantage of, like for example, Cipher will always be good in single target or like blast scenarios or whatever. Like, she'll just always be extremely good in that. While Triby's E1 does have situations where it isn't that crazy. Like, single target, it's worse than Robin's E1 by a little bit. And blast, it's okay, but it's not too crazy. If you put the cost into her Eidolons and Lycone bullets, I'm pretty confident that Cipher clears better than Acheron does, probably. Now, that might not be true. I might just have, like, HOS video bias. But I haven't really seen... Maybe there is a 3-cost Acheron 0 cycle against Flame Reaver. Sustainless with Zhaoq and E0S1 Acheron. I'm not sure. But it's iffy, man. These Acheron Doomers? You have an E6 Acheron, Kiwi. You don't have to worry about this, okay? You don't have to worry about the peasants with E0 Acherons or E2s. You have an E6, and that's all that matters. You have the Acheron, not simply pieces to the puzzle like the rest of these plebs. Oh yeah, getting Cipher Eidolons is better than getting Acheron Eidolons. Like, I would actually like to see a video on that of like E0 S1 Acheron with E1 S1 Cipher or E2 S1 Cipher versus an E2 Acheron with like E0 S1 Cipher. Because I do think Cipher's Eidolon investment is 100% better. Whether she is E0S0 or E6S5, she is amazing. Anybody who tells you otherwise is just lying to you. Why does this sound like Acheron propaganda? Yeah, that's my plan for my My Day account, Max. That's the exact plan. If Archer does end up being free, like E0S1 Archer won't be difficult to get at all. And then just run him with like E1S1 Cipher. Plus like a Robin. Just shred through everything. I pulled for Acheron because I got Zhao Q in the first pull when he first came out. I mean, that's a W. That's fine. You're not putting too much cost into it. Once again, we're all talking about an above E0 S0 Cipher. For, you know, the free-to-play plebs out there who, you know, they horizontally invest. They never save or go for Eidolons or Lycones. Yeah, okay. Zhao Q is better in an Acheron team at E0 S0. Congratulations, right? But for us normies, us rich, right? Us in the higher tax brackets, Cipher just has better value, right? So that might be a skill issue. Get your money up, not your funny up. You know what I'm saying?
The lovely smell of all my
But is he? It's close. But he should be overall better. I'm pretty sure. How is Cipher stack generation for pure fiction? I mean, it does. Cipher stack generation doesn't change in any mode. Because it's just the normal amount every time. Like, she'll do the same amount of stack generation against 5 or 1 mobs. Doesn't really make a difference. This 2 account having motherfucker. Hey, before I got a second or third account, my main account had an E1S1 Acheron, and I got that E2S1 Herda. Now, I'm not a free-to-play. I am a low spender. I'm not going to pretend I'm not a free-to-play. But that's, like, obtainable. I skipped an entire patch, then lost 50-50 on Sunday, and then I just went all in for Herda. So, relatable, to be honest. Relatable. In about a month, I'll have to spend again in Epic 7. Bro, Kiwi. Hey, salute to you, my man. Salute to you. You are spending on a lot of gacha games. Holy shit. Is there like another character upcoming that you like? Another one with like Cat Girl or something? Laugh at this guy. He isn't free to play. Says the one who was pretending an E0S0 Acheron. Can't be power crept. I'm a free to play and have E2S1 Herda. Just plan better. There you go. There you go. Just like the Kuro defenders in my Phoebe Zanny video in the comments were saying, just plan better. They are greedy. They put Shorekeeper before the Annie. There's 10 reruns. Both of them are on the same phase. It doesn't matter. Just plan and pull better. And if you can't, and you complain about it, you're a greedy son of a bitch. There you go. There you fucking go. Oh, I see a Kiwi. Yeah, yeah. Yes, yes. I see, I see. I'm not gonna lie. I haven't touched it yet, and I make no promises. Epic 7 is downloaded, but no promises at all. No videos, no streams, nothing. I'm not gonna touch it for a while, by the way. Before you guys think like I'm like silently playing this game, There's like this tutorial. I played it for like 10 minutes and then I instantly logged off because I had to do something. But like I barely touched the game at all. Do it. Join the dark side. No. I will never go back to playing 3 gacha games at once, man. I remember those days. They were not good ones. Worst 3.x character slash DPS? Probably Anoxa. Despite how much Zero Cyclers and content creators want to glaze him, it is probably Anoxa. He just has the worst value, probably. Okay, who do we have? Herda, Aglaya, then Maide, Triby. Then, yeah, it's Anoxa. Maide, nah. Maide does his job as a DPS just way better than Anoxa. And unless you're running Anoxa sustainless, if you're running him with sustain, Maide will outperform in a best in slot team. My Day is better, but will age worse. I could see that. Anoxa can very easily be carried by supports. So, My Day being HP scaling, I mean, I guess. But, okay, here's the actual thing where you're kind of... Like, both My Day and Anoxa should be the number one DPSs who benefit from Saridra. If the Saridra kit leak is true, and she gives an extra turn every time a DPS takes a turn, then My Day basically does double the amount of attacks and like HP drain for God Slayers, and Anoxa gets double the amount of turns. Or not double, but a really good amount. Wait, no, it is double, yeah. Because even Sunday's action advance would trigger the 2 turns from Saridra. Most of these plebs won't use sustainless Anoxa. No, that's my point. Like, that's why I say it. Like, if sustainless Anoxa is not the same character. If you can't finish anything sustainless with him, then his performance will drop off massively. He'll go from doing like a 0 or 1 cycle to like a 3 to 4 cycle. Yes, Bruno. But, okay, no, you are right. I do think Hyacine has really good value as a damaging sustain 100%. But the issue is it worth it? Because here's the thing, right? The 1 or 2 cost, if you get an E0S1 Hyacine, you can just put that into a Cipher or a Triby or a Robin, and you'll just get so much more out of it. That's just the truth at the end of the day. You put 2 cost into a Cipher to get her up to E2, you now have 30% more vulnerability, increased damage record, 200% attack buff, and she's practically a DPS on her own. You put it into Robin, you're getting like 24% res pen, you get her light code, there's no more ER issues, ult uptime is really good. Like, there's just better places to put the cost investment into than Hyacine, so that you can get like an extra, I don't know, like 600k damage a cycle from a sustain. Gallagher, I'm tired, boss. Gallagher's like the Sunday of sustains. He just like fits everywhere. Now, for casters specifically, Hyacine is a really good pull. But, like, this is basically the only case scenario. Like, you can use Hyacine and other teams take advantage of it, But the cost investment isn't really worth it unless you're running a caster's team. Should I get Zanny or just use my S1 Phoebe as a main DPS? Probably Phoebe. And I'd wait to see if Chacona can help Phoebe in terms of like Whimpering Waste performance or TOA performance. Because Chacona should be giving Spectral Frazzle as well as Arrow Erosion. So I think DPS Phoebe is probably just better, to be honest. It saves you the cost. Hyacine works with Acheron. With Lycone, yes. She's a best in slot for Acheron. Every time fat fuck Ika takes a turn or attacks, it's a stack for Acheron. And every time Hyacine ults, it's also a stack for Acheron. And Hyacine's Lycone gives 18% vulnerability. Oh, really? Yeah. Best in slot sustain for Acheron. Do we know what Chacona's weapon does? Probably. I just haven't looked at it. Signature weapon. Increases attack by 12%. When inflicting arrow erosion on the target, gains 20% arrow damage bonus for 10 seconds. Hitting targets with arrow erosion reduces their arrow resistance by 12% for 20 seconds. So, Cartethia. Like, I'm going to be honest. This weapon is very clearly made to just make Cartethia fucking disgusting. What's the main stat for the weapon? Crit rate. 36% crit rate, 500 base attack. E0 S1 Avin is better for Acheron against fast enemies like Hule. Hule is basically the only exception, though. And Hyacine does so much more damage than Avin. This is another Cipher. You know, this is the same thing with Cipher and Zhaoqiu. Cipher for sure has slower stack generation than a Zhaoqiu, but her damage completely overpowers Zhaoqiu. It's the same thing here. Hyacine adds so much damage to the comp that it's just better than Avin, even if Avin can get better stacks in like a few scenarios. Check Kayakana's Eidolons if any of them give attack. Is it even here? Oh, it is. So the first sequence, casting basic attack enhances Chacona's resistance to interruption and increases attack by 35% for 10 seconds. Okay, S2. Okay, so S2, during Resonance Liberation, Resonators in the team gain 40% arrow damage bonus. That S2 is nice. S3, casting basic attack stage 4 additionally grants 1 musical essence. Resonance skill Wild Allegro gains 1 more charge. S4, basically you just ignore 45% of the target's defense when using Resonance Liberation heavy attack. S5, Resonance Liberation Trio of a Songstress Cadenza deals 40% more damage. During Resonance Liberation, Resonators within the range receive 30% less damage. Zhaoqiu E4. Zhaoqiu E4 is on the S5. You receive less damage. And then S6 crit damage is increased by 80% when dealing damage. Yeah, S2 looks really strong. 40% arrow damage bonus for the entire team. Isn't that like similar to like S2 SK in terms of
Would you
overall
like a
performance
fun
increase?
dream?
Like that's an entire 3 cost echo, I'm pretty sure.
Would you like a fun
Oh, it's actually more.
between the two of us?
That's more than a 3 cost echo can give you actually. That's what I'm saying, bullets. Yeah, guys. Okay, look, I love Carlotta, right? I love Carlotta. Do I just skip her at this point, man? Like, that S2, man. That S2 bait. The S2 bait. I'm kidding. If there's anyone I'm going to go for sequences on, it'll probably be Cartethia. I think she'll get like a way bigger overall damage jump from it. Hell thoughts? Don't worry, I'm just trolling. I'd rather get Cartethia sequences anyways. Should I get S2 for the elf wife? I mean, probably. But we don't have kit leaks on Cartethia yet. That's only Chacona. Now, if you want to make her as strong as possible, you get S2 Chacona. But unfortunately, Cartethia is currently like under lock. Like, they do not want to leak Cartethia right now. Did you calculate how much she gives arrow damage at her full kit? No. I haven't even really looked at Chacona's full kit at all. Lately, I've just been focused on Phoebe Zanny, because I originally planned to pull Phoebe. But I'll probably look at Chacona after. Are Prolova and Lupa coming before Cartethia? No. Apparently, Lupa should be alongside Cartethia, and Prolova should be 2.5. Alright guys, I will be ending stream here. Thanks for stopping by. The stream did noticeably well, more than usual. I'm assuming because of all the videos I made recently. I appreciate all the support. 60 average viewers. Love y'all. Hope you have a great day. Hope you have a great night. Good luck with any of your polling plans. The Annie is soon. I think it's like tomorrow. So good luck with any of that.